We're going to talk a little bit today about how to install and what exactly you get when you buy our Model 3 noise reduction kits. Now these kits we have sold over 3,000 or 4,000. So these do work and they do look better than the open channels that you're going to see in your car. Most customers tell us they work, they make it quieter. Again, it doesn't make it quieter on a daily basis going the same way down the same street with no wind. It seems to be more noticeable at the front of the windshield, in the corners, or by the rear view mirror when crosswind or tailwind or a different wind is creating this vortex or the sound that is coming out of the windshield. So anyway, you're going to get this bag. We've simplified it. We've made it less expensive. We don't give you a squeegee. All you need is a little bit of tape or a helper. So let's install it. And again, this is EPDM. That's ethylene diamine propamine monomer. This is EPDM rubber. And this rubber tubing is the same rubber material that's used in the door seals on your Model 3, in your trunk, and all Teslas. It's EPDM. It's not going to rot out, fade. It's not going to do anything to your window. A lot of people on the forums have made comments about it voiding warranties, and I say nonsense. This is hollow tubing. This allows for it to stretch and expand as needed to fill the void. So we want everyone to see this close up. And again, the EPDM is ozone resistant. It isn't hard to compress. It stretches. It's not going to cause any kind of disruption between these glass panes. They're never going to move this far and touch each other. When the tubing is stuck down inside and it expands to fill the gap, it's never going to cause any warranty issues. So we want everyone to know that this is hollow tubing. Let's get started with the installation. Enough about talking about the product. We sell so many we can't make them fast enough. We have one splice or one joint where we have a plastic tubing inside. We check them and make sure that they don't come off, and we are gluing them with super duper glue. So put the joint, if you can, in the back. If you don't have enough room, like on this vehicle, you can't put it in the back of the glass, and put it on the passenger side. And we recommend you lay it down here and just push it in. This is the first step, step one. It's called selecting the location. Now, on most cars, you notice this huge gap. It's probably over a 1/4 inch, and look at how the tubing just fits in there perfect. You just slide it down with your finger, and it fits in this big gap, and it looks great. It looks better than having this empty void. Then we have the small task of going across the car. Okay, so once you lay down this without stretching it, you want to just put a little bit of pressure around the corner. Stretch it a tiny amount. That's going to secure it, and it's going to go right underneath. And we recommend that you hold on to the glass. Some people have told us that the rubber seal has gone down inside. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that our tubing has gone down inside. So you don't want it like that. You want to hook it on the glass edge on the top. If for some reason you notice it down inside, just pull it out, hook it back up. Again, just make this turn with a little bit of pressure on it, and it will stay there, okay? So now over my shoulder, you can see the process of this. It's a matter of stretching and letting it become narrower with pressure, and then it expands and seats itself inside of this channel. So just take about 3 inches, pull it, stretch it, and just use your other hand to push it down inside. And then once it's inside this channel, it's either going to expand or it's going to stretch back and expand. But either way will be great. All right, I suggest now you go about halfway across, take some painter's tape, or you just get a friend to hold it, and then you're going to go across to the other side, and we'll continue. So let's tape that down, and now we're going to go to the front of the windshield. And now windshields are always the challenge, because they get very close the sunroof and the windshield get close. But even though this VIN number is over 80,000 and it was just built in September, it still has a nice big gap and it still has wind noise. We have tested this vehicle out. So again, I'm gonna get another piece of tape ready. So when I make my halfway point, I'll be ready to tape it down and switch sides. So just put a piece of tape there. So come around the corner and notice the elasticity. This can stretch over 100%. And we don't want to stretch it too much because we have made it this proper length, or this length. So see how I'm stretching and sliding? So stretch, slide, stretch and let it go. And underneath, it's actually sliding back. So let's keep going. And as I'm pulling it, it's expanding and it's actually sliding back. So now we have half of it done with 2 pieces of tape. And now I'm gonna go on the other side and we're gonna talk about some of the issues that can come up with the material. If you have too much material, you'll have a little bunched up and we're gonna have to go back and relieve some of the pressure. So again, look at how I'm stretching and pushing it down. So why am I stretching? So it gets narrower. When it gets narrower, it goes down inside of the gap. When it gets in the gap, it expands and the tubing is opening up. All right, so bring the tape, bring it down to the end. And again, same thing, stretch, release, stretch, release, stretch, release, stretch, release. And now I'm around the corner and I'm gonna tape the corner down. So a little piece of tape really helps. We've had a lot of people say that when they were installing it, it's hit them in the face and jumped out of the channel. So now by looking at it like this, I can see here how much material I have left. And this shouldn't be stretched. So I think this is a good amount. So if you get to this point and you're going from halfway to the corner, you're probably doing a really good job. So now, again, we're going to stretch this and slide it into the channel. So as I stretch, I let go and I slide it back. So this is the important thing. We believe that this needs to fill the void as much as possible. So it needs to slide back. And you don't need a squeegee. It's just gonna keep on sliding and filling. And as you get to this corner, you're gonna see that you need so much material to lay it down in here. And you also need it to be snug. And so there's no issues. So again, stretch, stretch, stretch. Now I'm at the 3rd corner. And right now I could just simply let this go. So I'm gonna peel this off. And I like to make it tight. I don't want this being loose. You want it to be just like the other side. So I'm kind of trying to make this material go back inside, lay it down here. And again, I'm on the driver's side now. And everything is down tight. If you notice you have a little bit where it's protruding up, just simply tape it off and pull the corner up. And when you do this, just keep on stretching it and it gets narrower. And then when you make the turn, you'll have a little bit more material and lay it down. So now we're gonna shoot some close-ups to show everybody how the voids are filled and how this material fits perfect. So many people tell us that they think it fits better than, and it looks better than it does when they first pick the car up from the dealer. And again, I want to go back to this one area, this corner here, because some people have noticed this, that if they push it down too far, it can cause an issue of going underneath the car's seal. So let's take a look at this corner. So if you ever have this on your vehicle and you notice it underneath the glass, we recommend that you first of all have probably too much tension on it. So you want to relieve it and you want to make sure you're hooked on the glass right here. You're not letting it go down and underneath. This is the proper fit. It's holding on to the 4 corners. That's it. That's the Model 3 wind noise reduction kit, RPM Tesla. Thanks for checking in. And these really work. Wind noise test, Tesla Model 3.